Welcome to another installment of Marking Time in Alliance, a series of programs in which we visit various historical markers and other historic and interesting sites in and around the city of Alliance, Ohio. I'm your host, Jim Perrone, and today we're visiting the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Viaduct. What is now known as the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Viaduct started out its life simply known as the Viaduct. But its history is much more complicated than that. The Viaduct is a downtown Alliance landmark whose story begins in the 1880s and 1890s as city leaders tossed back and forth the idea of building a viaduct to allow traffic and pedestrians a safe way to cross the myriad of railroad tracks at the crossing. In 1895, the Pennsylvania Railroad agreed to build the bridge. The county would build the approaches, and the city would donate the land and pay for future maintenance of the structure. Through its early years, throngs of residents crowded the span as they witnessed soldiers going off to war and mourned as the train carrying the body of slain President William McKinley passed through on its way to Canton. But on September 4th, 1906, tragedy struck. The viaduct collapsed when a C&P freight car jumped the track and hit one of the iron support piers. The structure had begun to corrode almost as soon as it was completed, adding to its demise when hit. Flagman Clarence Kreshner was killed instantly from the collapse, and, as reported in the Alliance Review, within minutes, the foot of Main Street was a seething mass of humanity. The bridge was replaced with a suspension bridge in 1908. Despite warnings from the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1914 and 1926 that the structure needed attention, it continued to be repaired and remained active until Mayor James Puckett closed it to vehicular traffic in June 1972, when the city received an engineering report declaring it unsafe. Before this report, several companies forbid their trucks to drive over the span, and even the fire department refused to use it. The fate of the viaduct was uncertain for 4 more years as the city gathered plans and the funds to demolish the 80-year-old structure and rebuild a new span connecting Liberty to Patterson over the Penn Central tracks. Properties around the north and south ends of the new bridge were purchased and prepared for the new approaches. The new bridge was about 1/3 longer than the original. Finally, on June 24, 1975, the viaduct came down. Pieces of the old ironwork are on display in the Alliance History Mini Museum. At last, the new viaduct was opened for traffic on a warm, sunny September 14, 1976, ahead of schedule. The ribbon was cut, and the first car to travel across the bridge was a 1947 Chevrolet driven by Michael Richards with assistant bailiff Sidney Hartenstein. Hartenstein had been a passenger in the first carriage to cross the original viaduct back in 1897. On August 1, 1994, City Council voted to rename the viaduct in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 2 large signs with the new name were installed on January 11, 1995, one on each entry ramp. The MLK Viaduct Committee unveiled plans for an improved look of the viaduct in December 2007. The look included a mural for the bridge and ornamental rails separating the pedestrian and vehicular traffic, along with improved lighting and signage. Committee members envisioned the improvements to create a focal point for downtown and replace an eyesore. The bridge closed October 4, 2010, and work began on the repairs and improvements. Work continued after the bridge reopened on December 2, 2010, with the viaduct mural completed on October 18, 2011. The $1.6 million project made many taxpayers angry, but the repairs were necessary to keep North and South Alliance areas united. A December 18, 2011 letter submitted by Garnett Young to the editor of the Alliance Review stated, quote, "The viaduct provides an easy access for all people to travel through Alliance. One of Martin Luther King Jr.'s dreams was to bring all people together," unquote. And so it has come to unite the Alliance community as the site for the YWCA Community Walk during the Greater Alliance Carnation Festival, as the YWCA proudly promotes, "Hate has no place here." Thanks again for joining us on Marking Time in Alliance for today's visit to the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Viaduct. We'll see you next time on Down the Road.